The Orioles' top prospect, Samuel Basio, shut down for the weekend. How serious is it? And a major setback for the Birds, Grayson Rodriguez. The Birds' luck has now officially run out. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest, obviously representing Johns Hopkins University out of Baltimore, where my son will be headed in just about a month. But I digress. The Orioles, if they had any luck this season, the luck has run out, my friends, because Grayson Rodriguez is now sidelined indefinitely. I don't believe we're going to see him at all this season. Samuel Basio, the Birds' top prospect, now out for the weekend. Could it be longer? We're going to get into that and what this all means in the context of the rest of the year and beyond. And we're also going to get to the Birds did have a really good draft. Some are calling it the best in Major League Baseball. We have the latest on who has signed and who hasn't signed. But allow us to begin with this news, the Grayson Rodriguez news, which is the chances that this guy are going to pitch this year are essentially zero at this point. You heard it here first. I don't believe Grayson Rodriguez is going to take the mound this year for the Birds. He's shut down again, indefinite period of time due to that same elbow soreness that kept him from pitching in spring training, and it's just not good news. We had hoped, the Birds had hoped, that sometime in the second part of this season, Grayson was going to come back, Kyle Bradish was going to come back, Tyler Wells was going to come back, Chase McDermott was going to be healthy, you name it, Kate Povich back. Well, now we know fairly certainly that Grayson Rodriguez will not be back for the Birds. This is what Tony Mansolino had to say. We had to pull back a little bit on Grayson, a little bit of elbow discomfort from the issue he had in spring training, same spot. So we're gonna pull back, reevaluate, probably have more information in the next week or so. This is baseball speak for telling you that Grayson will not be pitching in major league games. Mansolino didn't speculate on the cause, such as, Rodriguez changing his arm angle or whatever. But look, it appears Grayson could miss the entire 2025 season without undergoing surgery. He hasn't been in a major league game since July of last year. And again, it's it's a bad situation. And if we're talking about injuries, Adley looks to be joining AAA on Tuesday. Mountie looks to begin his rehab next week. Cade Povich will report to Norfolk on Saturday. So those could be construed as pieces of good news. This, however, is a piece of not good news at all, which is we have just learned that Samuel Basio is dealing with right oblique discomfort, and he will not be playing in any games this weekend. Now, on its surface, right oblique discomfort, it does happen on its surface. He's only going to be sidelined for this weekend for right now, but keep an eye on this. And my question is, another soft tissue injury in this organization? Something is wrong. Something is going on. And of course, many people looking forward to Basio getting called up at the deadline or before, which still very much could happen. But when you get injury news like this, it just it adds salt to the wounds of an already horrible season for the Orioles, especially when you look at the numbers for Basio, and he's just knocking the cover off of the ball at AAA. 19 dingers, 48 RBIs, a 974 OPS, and he just looks better and better and better every single day that he goes out there. But for right now, at least, Samuel Basio for this weekend sidelined. He'll be evaluated. Hopefully he'll be back in that AAA lineup next week, but it's something to look at. So again, we talked about Grayson being out indefinitely. We have Basio out for the weekend. Those are the injuries that are going to impact the Birds for right now. I would be remiss, however, look, we have to start looking to the future, unfortunately. Very shortly here, the Orioles will begin selling. And so, looking at the future, the Birds did have a very good draft, and I want to give you the update there. Coastal Carolina catcher Caden Bodine, he was number 30th. He signed for 311. Right before that, the first round pick Ike Irish, the Auburn catcher, signed. That's appearing to be more and more of a great draft pick, given Adley's injury woes and Basio's injury woes. You might see a guy like Ike Irish in the majors before you would have thought. And just today, the Birds signed shortstop Wehiwa Aloy. He was their number 31 selection, and I think a steal, an absolute steal in the draft. I've told you that on previous editions, but this guy won the Golden Spikes Award given to college baseball's best player because he slashed 350, 434, 673 with 21 dingers for Arizona. So you love to see that signing. And the Birds have also signed two arms, one of which I think you're going to see at the big league level much sooner, the lefty. Joseph Zera out of Michigan State. He was a steal in the draft. I said that I characterized it as the Orioles getting their man, and I truly do believe that because he is a stud, and the Birds also signing the right-hander JT Quinn as well. So the only remaining compensatory pick that the Birds need to sign is Slater DeBrune, who was taken 37th overall. DeBrune's committed to Vandy, and he could opt to start his career in college. We don't know yet, or he could sign with the Birds, and that would be, again, then the Birds would have all of their ducks in a row, so to speak. And look, I think we all realize, we all understand that the second half of the season did not start the way that we wanted it to. The Birds are now 8.5 out in the wild card. They have to start winning ball games. Short of winning ball games, the season is essentially over. And that's not brain surgery to say, but we're going to keep an eye on all of it. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest.